The year is 509 BCE. Rome, a city on the rise in Italy, casts off the shackles of monarchy. Gone is the rule of kings, replaced by a radical experiment, the Roman Republic. This wasn't a bloodless coup, it was a messy, chaotic transition, fueled by the resentment of the aristocracy against a tyrannical king. The Romans were determined to never again be subjected to the whims of a single ruler. The early republic was fragile, a ship navigating uncharted waters. It was a society dominated by powerful families, the patricians who held a monopoly on power. The common folk, the plebeians, struggled for their own voice. This struggle, however, would shape the republic's destiny, leading to the creation of institutions that gave the people a say in their own governance. The Roman Forum, a dusty marketplace, transformed into the heart of political life. Here, amidst the shouts of vendors and the murmurs of conspiracy, the fate of the Republic was debated and decided. It was a messy, often brutal system, but it was a far cry from the absolute rule of kings. The Republic, born in rebellion, was finding its feet. The founding of the Republic wasn't just about changing rulers, it was about changing the very idea of power. It marked the beginning of a journey fraught with challenges and triumphs that would see Rome rise from a small city-state to become the dominant power in the Mediterranean. This was just the first chapter in the long and tumultuous story of the Roman Republic. At the heart of the Roman Republic stood two pillars of power, the Senate and the consuls. The Senate, a council of elder statesmen, often drawn from the patrician class, held immense influence. They were the guardians of tradition, the advisers to magistrates, and the wielders of considerable soft power. Their decrees, while not legally binding, carried the weight of experience and authority. The consuls, on the other hand, were the highest elected officials in the Republic. Two were elected every year, tasked with the day-to-day running of the state. They commanded armies, presided over the courts, and proposed laws. Their power was real and immediate, but it was also fleeting. The one-year term, a safeguard against tyranny, ensured that power was constantly in flux. This division of power between the long-term authority of the Senate and the short-term executive power of the consuls was meant to prevent any one person or institution from becoming too powerful. It was a system designed to be inherently unstable, a system that thrived on debate, compromise, and the constant negotiation of power. However, this delicate balance was often tested. The interests of the patricians and plebeians frequently clashed, leading to periods of social unrest and political deadlock. The struggle for power between these two groups would shape the evolution of the Republic, forcing it to adapt and change to survive. The story of the Roman Republic is, in many ways, the story of this ongoing struggle for power and the constant search for a balance between the interests of the few and the many. As the Roman Republic consolidated its power in Italy, a new rival emerged across the Mediterranean Sea. Carthage, a maritime superpower based in North Africa. Carthage, with its vast trading network and powerful navy, posed a significant threat to Rome's ambitions. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a series of wars that would decide the fate of the Western Mediterranean. The First Punic War, from 264 to 241 BCE, erupted over control of the strategically vital island of Sicily. Rome, primarily a land power, embarked on an ambitious shipbuilding program, determined to challenge Carthage's naval dominance. The war was long and brutal, marked by bloody naval battles and grueling sieges. The Romans, despite initial setbacks, proved to be quick learners. The Battle of Mylae in 260 BCE saw the Romans secure their first major naval victory thanks to a new invention, the corvus, a boarding bridge that allowed their legionaries to turn sea battles into land engagements. This victory marked a turning point in the war. Rome's persistence eventually paid off, and in 241 BCE, Carthage sued for peace, ceding Sicily and agreeing to pay a hefty indemnity. The First Punic War was a defining moment for Rome. It announced the Republic's arrival as a major power on the Mediterranean stage. However, the victory came at a cost. The war had drained the Roman treasury and exposed the ruthlessness with which Rome treated its enemies. It also sowed the seeds of future conflict, for Carthage, though defeated, was far from broken. The Second Punic War, from 218 to 201 BCE, witnessed the rise of one of the most brilliant military commanders in history, Hannibal Barca. Swearing an oath of vengeance against Rome at a young age, Hannibal, in a feat of military daring, marched his army, complete with elephants, over the Alps and into Italy. His arrival sent shockwaves through the Italian peninsula. Roman legions, accustomed to victory, were routed in a series of devastating defeats. At the Battle of Lake Trasimene, in 217 BCE, Hannibal lured the Roman army into a deadly ambush, inflicting heavy casualties. The following year at Cannae, in 216 BCE, Hannibal orchestrated a masterpiece of tactical encirclement, annihilating a massive Roman army. It was Rome's greatest defeat, a day etched in infamy in Roman memory. Yet despite these crushing victories, Hannibal was unable to deliver the final blow. Rome, displaying its trademark resilience, refused to surrender. While Hannibal roamed Italy, the Romans, led by the cautious but determined Quintus Fabius Maximus Verrucosus, adopted a strategy of attrition, avoiding pitched battles and gradually wearing down Hannibal's forces. The Roman war effort, however, was not confined to Italy. Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, a young and ambitious general, took the war to Carthage, defeating Hannibal's forces in a decisive battle at Zama in 202 BCE. Hannibal's dream of Carthage's triumph lay in ruins. The Second Punic War, a close call for Rome, solidified its dominance in the western Mediterranean. However, the spectre of Hannibal's genius would continue to haunt the Roman psyche, a reminder of the Republic's vulnerability. After the Second Punic War, Rome faced internal strife and external threats. The Republic, though victorious, was left strained and vulnerable. Social unrest, political corruption, and economic disparity began to erode the fabric of Roman society. The rise of Julius Caesar marked a turning point in Roman history. Caesar, a brilliant military commander and shrewd politician, expanded Rome's territories through a series of ambitious conquests. His campaigns in Gaul and his crossing of the Rubicon River were legendary, demonstrating his tactical genius and unyielding ambition. These victories, however, came at a cost. Caesar's growing power and popularity threatened the traditional republican order. In 44 BCE, Julius Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators, including his close friend Brutus, in an attempt to restore the Republic. But the assassination plunged Rome into further chaos. The ensuing power struggles and civil wars eventually led to the rise of Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, later known as Augustus. Augustus emerged victorious, becoming the first Roman emperor. His reign marked the end of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. Under Augustus, Rome experienced a period of relative peace and stability known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. This era saw unprecedented growth in culture, infrastructure, and economy, solidifying Rome's dominance for centuries to come. The transition from republic to empire was a defining moment in Roman history, reshaping the political landscape and setting the stage for the grandeur of imperial Rome.